Sox, with this win at the moment, they are a wild card team. How about that?
I'll be honest. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I'm in almost as much disbelief as our friends in England. The Red Sox are a wild card team. You just heard it there from Dave O'Brien. Red Sox pick up a 10-0 win in the day game of the day-night doubleheader with the Tampa Bay Rays today. They improve to 47-48. They're one game below 500, and that puts them in a tie with Seattle and Minnesota for the final wild card spot in the American League. They are the hottest team in baseball, and they looked just as good, if not better, than they looked in the 9-game winning streak before the All-Star break. They extend it to 10 games. They pick up a win at the beginning of this absolutely crucial, critical, beyond important 10-game homestand coming out of the All-Star break, and that's where we start tonight on the Baseball Hour. No Tony Maz. It's Matt McCarthy in for Maz. We will get to you early and often, I promise. I'll get to your calls all throughout the night at 617-779-0985. You want to talk Red Sox before Game 2 begins, this is your opportunity to do so. It is the best place in the city to do so. We will get to you fast. I do promise you that tonight. It is stunning. It's remarkable. I don't believe it. And how can you not start to get a little bit excited? And listen, I'm more pessimistic on the Red Sox than most. It's just in my nature. You can't deny what you're watching right now. I love the type of baseball that they're playing. I don't know how sustainable it is because they're getting a lot of high energy, strong performances from the Anthony Sieglers of the world. He went 2 for 5 today. Masataka Yoshida is red hot. He's hotter than the sun. We all know who Masataka Yoshida is. But am I going to sit here and complain about it? The way they're winning games? Hell no, baby. Hell no. They're playing good baseball. They're playing really good baseball. And they're doing it at the most important time of the year. These next now 9 games will determine the direction of the franchise, and they got off to a hell of a start today. And for a team that's hot, and to have that type of win coming out of the break, you go back to the clubhouse, you get ready for Game 2, and everybody must feel like, hey, the break didn't kill our momentum at all. Coming out of the break and winning the first game of the doubleheader today the way you did just puts so much wind at the back of their sails. And now you play baseball again a couple hours later. If we play a tripleheader tonight with the way the Red Sox are playing, baseball is a momentum sport. It is a grind over the course of 162. You have ups and downs, and that can be said for good teams and bad teams. And in the end, I don't really know what the Red Sox are. I don't know if they're a good team. I don't know if they're a bad team. They were a terrible team for the majority of the year. Now they've been the best team in baseball going back the last 2.5 weeks. And the question is, are they different from the team that they were at the beginning of the year? And I think there's enough reason to believe that they are. Now, I don't know how sustainable it is because, again, the guys who are contributing are not going to contribute this way for much of this year. But in this moment, you got to take it. You got to take it. You have to have stuff like this happen over the course of a baseball season. You have to have guys come up from AAA and give you energy. You have to have guys come up from the minor leagues and replace guys who aren't giving you energy or are giving you bad energy. Right now, here's what I'll say about the Red Sox. I don't know if they're good. I don't know if they're bad, but I know they're different. And that's so important. They're so different than what they were in April and in May and in June. Because they got a lot of the bad apples out of the room, and it's making a difference. Now, Roman Anthony has way more talent than anybody in this lineup probably combined. Was he a problem? He might have been. Were the young players a problem? Marcelo Meyer a problem? Definitely. Definitely Marcelo Meyer was a problem. So guys like Anthony and Meyer and Brian Bayo are out of the room. Trevor Story out of the room. I mean, he was a leader of this team. Not a good one, but he was. So you phase those guys out. You're kind of a rudderless ship, directionless. You fire the manager. All of a sudden, a couple guys come up from AAA who have something to prove. They played for Tracy down there. Tracy's managing his ass off right now. I think from an in-game perspective, he's managing his ass off, and I want to get to that in a little bit. So the interim manager has done a good job on the field. I think he's gotten the most out of these guys off the field. and you're starting to piece it together. You don't have to do this for long. You just have to do it at the right time, and they're doing it at the right time right now. At the most crucial point of the year, they're playing their best baseball, which then puts pressure on the front office to go out and add and improve to this team, to take over for the Sieglers, the Changs, the Masataka Yoshidas of the world when they're not hitting 2 weeks from now or 3 weeks from now. Ride this as long as you can. It's not going to last forever, but you're riding it at the most important time of the year. And that is now going to put pressure on the organization to go out and improve this team at the deadline if this continues for the next week and a half. 10 games at home. You won the first one convincingly. You're playing again tonight. You're feeling good. You have to feel good about their chances to earn a doubleheader sweep coming out of the break because momentum is a real thing, especially in the sport of baseball that is an absolute grind over the course of February to October. It takes a toll on these guys. So if you continue to play good baseball at home, which is not something they've done, show you can start to win at home, show you've turned it around, that will put pressure on the organization to do something about it. And we get to the latest reporting on the trading deadline. This from Jeff Passan today on the Red Sox plans. He says this: for now, their plans are fluid. Boston isn't discounting pursuing help before August 3rd. The Red Sox also know that for an entire half of the season, they personified mediocrity, and that 15 games does not a season make. So like many others, they're weighing their options, knowing if they stumble, they can pivot into dump mode and make a killing with Chapman as well as potentially Gray, Wilson Contreras, and Garrett Whitlock. That's exactly the approach they should be taking. I've got no problems that the Red Sox don't know what they're going to do at the deadline. They have to prove it to me over the course of this 10-game homestand. You go 7-3, guys, we're in buy mode. We're in buy mode. Get aggressive. We're adding to this team. You go 3-7, it wasn't real. Let's cash in on Gray. Let's cash in on Chapman. You're not going to cash in on Contreras. He's not going to waive the no trade. You take calls on Garrett Whitlock. You name it. It all comes down to this. I cannot stress that enough. It all comes down to this 10-game homestand. And they got off to a hell of a start today. You keep winning, go at it. To you, 617-779-0985. Early and often tonight. Let's go to Connor on the road. Hey, Connor.
Hey, what's going on? Yeah, 100% agree. I think today was absolutely a statement win. You go into the All-Star break, you're red hot, but a lot of times teams kind of cool off. Last year they were 10-0 going to the All-Star break. They kind of cooled off. Hitters cooled off. Sadon going in last year was like the best hitter in baseball, and I was so over the moon. I called in half-jokingly and said that he had best player in baseball potential, and then he became literally the worst hitter in baseball. But, before this win streak, you were kind of beating up on crappy teams. The White Sox are okay. The Yankees are good, but they went on a skid. So, coming out today, winning in the way you did against a good team after the highs of the All-Star break, this is a complete statement win, and if you weren't bought in before, you absolutely should be now.
Yeah, okay, so I'll wait another 9 games on that, Connor, but I hear what you're saying, and, your sentiments are well received. Yeah, it's to win the way they did coming out of the break, it's the only time in a baseball season where there is an unnatural pause in the momentum. Good or bad. You play every day. It's the nature of the sport. So you take 4 days off. That's an eternity in baseball. And listen, for the last 3-4 years, they've been the best team consistently going into the All-Star break. Coming out of the break, they've struggled. They have not played good baseball. And I will say I think Alex Cora is probably one of those reasons. Cora was not the right man to right the ship, was not the right man to pilot the boat because in the end he got too involved with personal grudges and proving a point as a manager and fighting with the front office and, just in the end was not serious enough in the day-to-day and did not run a tight enough ship to get the most out of a team. Tracy's managing for his job. He's got something to prove. He wants to be a big league manager. I know he liked Worcester. Everybody loved him down there too. I think Chad Tracy would rather be in Boston than Worcester. So you think he's dialed in, ready to go today, the way that maybe Alex Cora coming off a few days at the All-Star break was not? Damn right. Damn right Tracy's ready to go. Damn right this team was ready to go today. And that was eye-opening because that was not what we had seen from them in recent years coming out of the break. How about Anthony in Scottsdale? Hey, Anthony.
Hey, Matt, how's it going? Big observation, just the way they come out of, the gates. They're ready to play. Not only that, they're bunting. They're actually playing baseball and not playing analytical ball. I just think that's so encouraging, and wanted to get your thoughts on the future of Tracy.
Okay, I love what Tracy's done in the dugout and in the clubhouse. I think Tracy's done an outstanding job. We'll get to that a little bit later on in the program. The sixth inning the Red Sox had today, Tracy's fingerprints were all over that. He is managing to the roster, not managing against the roster, which is something Cora did for years to prove a point that he did not have a good enough roster. Yes, Chad Tracy does not have a good enough lineup, but he's making chicken salad out of chicken crap, and he's playing a style of baseball that better fits the roster that he has, because he's not busy being wrapped up in what Chaim Bloom or Craig Breslow did to him or left him with. He's not saying, well, it's my job to manage young players, kind of sarcastically. He's not doing that. He's taking what he has, and he's getting the most out of it. And the style of play, the bunting, the small ball, is a distinct difference from the way Cora managed these games. Cora wanted to play an old school American League style. Let's get two guys on, let's get a fat ass to the plate, and let's hit a 3-run bomb. And he wanted to play that whether he had the roster or not. Tracy's managing completely different. Go back to this weekend, playing for 1 run instead of 2 in extra innings. Cora believed you play for 2. The Red Sox play for 1. They bunt the runner over. They get 1 against the Mets. Whitlock comes in, shuts it down. Completely different style. That's the style the Red Sox are built to play. We can have a discussion about whether the Red Sox should be built that way. I'd argue they shouldn't. But hey, you dance with the one you came with, right? And that's what Tracy's doing with. He's managing the team that he has, not the team he doesn't have. How about Ben in Malden? Hey, Ben.
Hey, Matt. Yeah, so just to pick up where you left off, I really want to give Chad Tracy a lot of credit. I mean, if you remember, this man was put in an unfair position when Cora was fired, and I just wanted to ask you, do you think he's justifying himself as a long-term manager for this team?
Yes. 1,000%. Yes. He was put in a terrible spot. Terrible. Because let's be honest, Craig Breslow, if you go back to the comments he made, the day they spoke about the Cora firing and in the days after, he made it very clear that he was not committed to the idea of Chad Tracy for the rest of the year. So he put Tracy in an impossible spot. And I guarantee you was going to try to scapegoat Tracy in the event that things didn't go well, because Breslow had already, played his scapegoat card in Alex Cora. So he's going to try to move on from Tracy if things didn't go well and just keep churning through managers until they ultimately, came for Breslow and his job. Tracy's done a tremendous job. Outstanding. So tip of the cap to him, all the credit in the world to Chad Tracy, who I don't know if he's gotten enough credit in this town. Because in the end, you put the interim title on it, and people are like, it's almost like they don't take him seriously. Well, the way he's managed, I'm taking him seriously. He's picked up fast. Chad Tracy is getting more out of this roster with less. Alex Cora was given a better roster at the beginning of the year. Tracy does not have Garrett Crochet. He does not have Roman Anthony. He does not have, a healthy and effective and, head screwed on straight Brian Bayo, the way that, Cora had for much of last year. He's been given less, and he's done more. Isn't that the sign of a good manager? How about Jake in Vermont? Hey, Jake.
Hey, wasn't able to listen to the show today. Don't know if you touched on it. I'm sure that we kind of feel similar on the topic. Trevor Story approaching a comeback here soon, as well as Meyer. Trevor Story making $25 million. Chang's played fine. Siegler speaks for himself. What do you think actually happens when both of them are back?
Jake,
what do they do?
Great point. I'm terrified about the Trevor Story axe that is now hanging over this franchise. He's making progress. We get, reporting today, and we'll get to the latest on the injury updates because it's not all good news for the Red Sox. Trevor Story is hitting. He is ramping up fielding activity. That's great. He can do that on his own time. He can get in the cage as much as he wants. He can go to Worcester for all I care. I want him nowhere near this roster. Nowhere near it. You cannot bring Trevor Story back into this situation. You are playing small ball. You're moving the ball. You're moving the runner. You're putting your bat on the ball. Trevor Story does none of that. Not to mention, too, he carries himself with a level of entitlement. He is a Cora holdover. Cora loved the guy, enabled him. Alex Cora was Trevor Story's chief enabler. Let him get away with murder. Didn't matter what he did. He was in the lineup every day at shortstop, batting second, batting fifth. It did not matter what Trevor Story did. Cora stood by him when he shouldn't have, because he's not a very good baseball player. So I get you're paying him $25 million. I get he's a former All-Star from years ago in Colorado where the ball doesn't break and you can take advantage of the altitude. Well, Trevor Story plays real baseball in a real town now, and he's basically never been good at it. Outside of 3 months last year, which just so happened to coincide when the Red Sox started having incidents with their base coaches and were stealing signs left and right. So, shocker, Trevor Story didn't hit this year. Now that Major League Baseball is cutting down on the sign stealing, they won't let the coaches out of the box. So, when the Red Sox lost that system, all of a sudden Trevor Story, who sucked for the first 2 months of last year, then they started stealing signs again, started to hit again. Shocker, Trevor Story can't hit because he's not very good at baseball. I want him nowhere near this team. Nowhere near it. 617-779-0985. We'll get to the latest news on Garrett Crochet and Roman Anthony, Ranger Suarez and Connolly Early as well, and also the Jarren Duran incident. All of that coming your way on the Baseball Hour. 2 open lines right now. Grab them. Good opportunity to hop on. 617-779-0985. It's McCarthy in for Maz. Red Sox have won 10 straight. They play again in about an hour.
Batter. Red Sox trying to make this a huge inning.
Do it again.
Another bunt. Kiss down the line. Is it going to stay fair?
Yes.
It is! And another run will score! Red Sox doing it any way you can do it. Tampa Bay still complaining about that, but a fair ball, and it's 7-0.
Oh, squeeze me, baby. Squeeze me. Hold me. Oh, bunts turn me on. I love a good sacrifice bunt. Not just a sacrifice bunt. A squeeze. A suicide squeeze in there. Carlos Narvaez. I like big bunts and I cannot lie. And so does Chad Tracy. The Red Sox bunting their way to 2 runs in the 6th inning, which is exactly what they should be doing with the roster that they have. Carlos Narvaez, Sung-Chae Chang, beautiful bunt from Chang. They're right on the line. The Rays were arguing that it was in foul territory. It wasn't. It was an absolutely perfect bunt, dead and straight down the third base line. Put your bat on the ball and good things happen. And I will say this is not only a fight against the analytics because analytics don't like bunting. But it's also a fight against the old school American League style, frankly, Red Sox style baseball. Get a couple guys on, hit a 3-run homer. That's how you win games. Red Sox are not built to do that. But they are built to play this way. And the Red Sox this year now have, if my numbers are correct, they have 20 sacrifice bunts, which is tied for 3rd in baseball. 18 of those were called for by Chad Tracy. 18. Alex Cora just had 2. Not only that, the Red Sox have 20 sacrifice bunts this year in 95 games. 20 sacrifice bunts. From 2022 to 2025, the Red Sox had 28 sacrifice bunts. It's a completely different style of play, and Cora was unwilling to play it because it wasn't proving his point. Cora managed to show and to prove that the front office was inept. And you know what? When it comes to this lineup, they are inept. But your job is to win baseball games in any way possible. That's the manager's job. It's the general manager's job to build the team, right or wrong. It's the manager's job to not be involved in that, to not try to prove a point, is to take what you're given and win baseball games. And that's precisely what Chad Tracy has done. And he recognizes that this team's going to win baseball games by laying down bunts, moving the runner over, playing for 1 run instead of 3. You have to manage differently. The field manager still matters in baseball. And Chad Tracy is proving that. They're playing really good ball right now. To you, 617-779-0985. How about Rich in Millbury? Hey, Rich.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, right on about Story. I'm willing to chip in for a bus ticket for him out of town.
Sure, why not? A plane ticket, I don't care. Boat, I don't care what the method of transportation is. I don't care what it costs me. I certainly don't care what it costs the Red Sox. You cannot bring him back. Can you imagine Trevor Story at the plate instead of Sung-Chae Chang today? Story's going to strike out in that spot because he has way too much swing and miss. Is Sung-Chae Chang a great baseball player? No. But he's going to go up there, he's going to lay down a bunt because that's what the team and the situation calls for, and you have a manager who's willing to do it. You're a better baseball team without Story, without Meyer. You're a better baseball team with Anthony on the field. If that'll ever happen again this year, we'll see, because the reporting out of Fort Myers, who's been there for a little bit, Chad Tracy saying before the game today, no progress. And pretty much no progress on Garrett Crochet either. Roman Anthony still cannot swing a bat. So I don't know if you're going to get him back this year. That guy is your best hitter. He's your most impactful hitter. All right, well, you're going to have to figure it out. You're going to have to find other ways to do it. And they're finding other ways to do it. I wouldn't bring Meyer back. I wouldn't bring Story back. IKF, I guess, is headed for x-rays next week. Sure, he'll play this style of ball. Bring him back. He's fine. He's a veteran guy. Early in Suarez, news on them. Suarez looks like he could be ready to go on Tuesday. That would be good news. Surprisingly good news for a Red Sox injury. Turns out that one might not be so bad. But still no Crochet and still no Anthony. The question is, does that affect how you approach the deadline? I say no. You've been a better baseball team without those guys this year than you have with them on the field. And that doesn't mean that you wouldn't be better if Anthony and Crochet were back. You would be. But I won't hear that argument on Trevor Story, and I won't hear that argument on Marcelo Meyer. That's for sure. How about Mike in Westford? Hey, Mike.
Hey, McCarthy. So you mentioned the next 10 games, which are obviously very important. But, what if they, you said like 7-3 and you'd be in on doing a trade at the deadline. But what if they go like 5-5, but they look good doing it? If that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that, Mike. If they look good doing it, okay. Yeah, I guess I'm still buying at that spot. But the worst case scenario, Mike, is kind of 5-5. They're right in the middle. They're kind of in, they're kind of out, but they're not playing this type of baseball. And, this is an inspiring brand of baseball. This should make you believe in the team a little bit. If they lose that edge over the next week and they go 5-5, then I'm saying, all right, what are you doing? You buying or you selling? And they're probably saying, what are we doing? Are you buying or are you selling? And they probably middle it, which would not be a good situation for them at all. So that would be my one concern about them at the deadline. Like, it's one thing to say, all right, they're going to go 7-3, 8-2, play really good baseball, you're buying. You completely collapse. You go 2-8 over the next 10, you're selling. Do you trust them to actually get it right, though? That's going to be the next part of this conversation. Once we're done at the end of the homestand, I think we'll have somewhat of an idea as to what direction they should go in. At least I hope. That they don't end up 4-6 or 6-4 and 5-5. I guess if you go 6-4, it's a winning homestand, and you say, all right, let's buy for this team at the deadline. But even if they pick a direction, do you trust them to get it right? Because I don't. Look at the way they've approached the deadline in the last few years. Do you trust Craig Breslow to be able to get on the phone and make a deal with a non-Chaim Bloom or Ben Cherington general managed team somewhere? Look at how last deadline went. They ended up making the playoffs, but it was a disaster. A disaster. Are they going to do what they did in 2022, which is buy and sell if they end up in the middle? Are they going to say, well, the analytics say we have a 48% chance to make the playoffs, so I guess we'll, trade Sonny Gray, but we'll go out and we'll add a bat and we'll see kind of how it all works out? I hate that. Hate that. They cannot middle it. Pick a direction, have some conviction, and will they actually get it done? Or are they going to say, well, Roman Anthony will come back. Maybe we'll get an update on Anthony in 2 weeks that he's swinging a bat. Maybe Garrett Crochet starts pitching again. And then they pull The same old crap where they said, well, our deadline additions are going to be Roman Anthony and Garrett Crochet. Well, if you had told me at the beginning of the year we'd add Roman Anthony and Garrett Crochet at the deadline to a playoff team, you'd be very excited. We don't have to make a trade. We don't have to go outside the organization. That type of stuff happens all the time. I will not accept that. I will not accept that, and I will not accept middling the deadline. You have to pick a direction, buy or sell, and then execute. The question is, who are you going to get? Who are you going to buy? This reporting coming out earlier today. There's some reporting earlier in the year that the Red Sox were willing to take on some money. Let me ask you this, Red Sox fans. How does a reunion with Xander Bogaerts sound to you? If it gets you Mason Miller. Kevin Acee, who's covered the Padres forever, a million years out in San Diego, is tied in with everything Padres related, had this to say, quote, one question being kicked around at Petco Park is whether moving Miller as part of a package that includes Bogaerts is a proposition too beneficial to pass up. It is practically a foregone conclusion that the Padres will eventually find a way to get out from under a portion of the $25 million they owe their underperforming a 33-year-old shortstop each of the next 7 seasons. If someone were willing to take on some of Bogaerts' salary and Bogaerts waived his no-trade clause, it might tip the scales. I'm in. I'm 1,000% in, and this ties into the Trevor Story conversation. Let me ask you this. Take the money out of it, which we'll get to the money in a second, but just as a gut feeling as a Red Sox fan, would you rather have Trevor Story return to this team and replace Monasterio, Siegler, Chang, you name it? Would you rather Trevor Story replace them or bring in Xander Bogaerts and replace one of those players with Bogaerts? I don't even think it's close. I'll take Bogaerts 10 times out of 10. Now, Bogaerts is nowhere near the player he once was. He has not had a good 4 years in San Diego. Actually, his first year there wasn't all that bad. But this year, he's batting .224. He's got a .648 OPS. It's not good. He's a veteran player. He's the kind of guy you want in your clubhouse. He'll be a little better at Fenway Park. Right-handed hitter, something you need. Right-handed hitting infielder. He's not a great player anymore, but he's a pro. He's a good dude. You put him back in that clubhouse instead of the likes of Trevor Story or Marcelo Meyer who are going to poison the well. Give me Bogaerts. Oh, not to mention, too, you're getting Mason Miller on top of this. So let's see if this is real. Buster Olney reported earlier on this year the Red Sox were canvassing the league, looking for bad contracts. They were willing to take on money if it meant improving the team. It's not going to significantly improve your lineup, but it will improve your team if you get Mason Miller as part of this. If you eat that Bogaerts contract or a portion of it, and trust me, it's one of the worst contracts in baseball. He's owed $175 million over the next 7 years. It's ugly. But if that gets you Mason Miller, who I believe has team control for the next 3 years, and you put Miller at the back end of your bullpen with Whitlock and Chapman, oh, that's so hot. Oh, bring it to me. Give it to me. And you get something you need. It's not the best thing, not the best right-handed hitter you're going to find out there, but you put Bogaerts on this club. It's not going to hurt you more than trotting the likes of Trevor Story and Marcelo Meyer out there. And when the Anthony Sieglers and Sung-Chae Changs come back down to earth, you replace them with Bogaerts. This is such a win for the Red Sox. They should be in on this deal. And maybe, just maybe, you'll get rid of Jarren Duran in the process because the Padres have loved Jarren Duran. You want to take Jarren Duran, you get Mason Miller and Xander Bogaerts as part of this deal? Sign me up. We will get to the latest on Jarren Duran and once again, we've now gone 0 days without a Jarren Duran incident. We'll get to that. I see a number of you on the phone lines. You want to talk about that. We'll get to that and more. 617-779-0985. The Red Sox have won 10 straight. We'll continue on the baseball hour. It's McCarthy in for Maz.
Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nope, nothing happened. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
That was Jarren Duran a few weeks ago with the media after yet another fan-related incident at Fenway Park. That is our wine of the week, brought to you by Vinzo's Primo Vino, the best thing in a box since takeout, because Jarren Duran, shocker, is the whiner of the week again. Actually had himself a good game today, which is a rarity for Jarren Duran in 2026. He'll be back in the lineup, I do believe, again tonight as the Red Sox continue their doubleheader against the Rays. But we have yet another Jarren Duran incident, this time not with a fan, but a member of the media, because he just goes back and forth. Sometimes he wants to fight a fan, sometimes he wants to fight a media member, and this time he said he wanted to fight a media member. Yes, that's what he actually said. He said he wanted to fight a media member, including in that media member being our guy, Tyler Milliken, our long-departed friend here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. Of course, now does Section 10 with Jared Carrabis full-time, which we are thrilled about for him. But this came up last night. This story finally went public. This story has been talked about in media circles for a little bit, for a number of months now, but it finally went public. Milliken was doing a subscriber-only chat with members of the Section 10 community, and I guess on Section 10 they've alluded to maybe some type of issues that Jarren Duran has with Milliken. So a person in the chat asked him. They said, "Hey Milliken, what's the deal with you and Duran? Can you share any of this?" And Milliken said, "Yeah, I'll share it. I don't care if it's public at this point." He wrote this. "When Duran flipped off that fan in Minnesota, I posted a picture on my Twitter of it. No caption, nothing else. I did it specifically because I know Duran's very sensitive about anything involving him. When he saw it that night, Duran texted Carrabis and said I was a fat F, and if he ever saw me, he'd beat the F out of me. When I was at Fenway, a few weeks later, I walked up to him. I asked him if he wanted to talk about it. He said I was the effing worst. He got up and left." So there's that. Jarren Duran, and Milliken went on to explain that Duran essentially blames Milliken for the Minnesota incident going viral and happening. So Milliken was the first person to post a picture. Again, we all watched the game of Duran flipping off the fan, but Milliken was the first person to post a picture, go online with, "This is what Jarren Duran just did." Didn't say anything, just posted the picture. And Duran lost his mind about it. Lost his mind. Because in the end, it makes Jarren Duran look bad, which is something Jarren Duran continuously does. He makes himself look bad. I've often said, half joking but not half joking, that someday Jarren Duran is going to go into the crowd and fight a fan. I actually don't think he's going to do that anymore, because he was presented with the opportunity to fight Milliken. He didn't even want to punch Milliken. So even though he said he didn't follow through on that threat. So Jarren Duran is just a tough talk guy. So he's always been just a tough talk guy. Fake tough guy. The kind of person who pretends to go at people and has his friend, hold me back, bro, hold me back. Yeah, that's Jarren Duran. He doesn't actually want it. I believe the kids would say he doesn't want that heat. He does not want it. He's a fraud. Guy's a fraud. Fake tough guy. And a giant pain in the ass. The Milliken part of this in the end doesn't really matter. And listen, he's my friend. He's my baseball wife. I'm obviously going to defend the guy because I like him. I also don't think he did anything wrong here. I think most of us, if you're reasonable about this, say he doesn't do anything wrong. But in the end, I really don't care from a baseball perspective if Jarren Duran threatens to fight Tyler Milliken, says he wants to kick his ass. I really don't care about that. What I care about is when it affects the play on the field. If Jarren Duran were hitting 300, we're an all-star, and he's using Milliken and all of us to fuel that, it is what it is. All right, go ahead. You know what? Actually, do punch him next time. Maybe you'll hit 350 if you punch him. Kick his ass for all I care. That's not who he is. He's not capable of talking about it. Milliken goes up to him like a man. Duran doesn't want to talk to him. Doesn't want to fight him because he's pretty much a coward, too. He's not going to do that. But in the end, he's one of the greatest rabbit-eared athletes I think we've ever come across in this town. And that's why he sucked for the last 2 years. Jarren Duran has sucked for 2 years straight because he can't get out of his own way, because he hears this stuff, because some fan in Minnesota says something to him, probably not what Jarren Duran said, all right? We haven't found the audio of that. Nobody's corroborated that story. So Duran's probably lying about that at this point. I think we can say that. I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. The audio hasn't come up. There were about 17 people in the stands that night. Nobody, not a single person on planet Earth has said, yeah, you know what, Jaron Duran, what he said was right. That fan did cross the line. He did say something he shouldn't have said to him. No, probably didn't happen. He had grounded out. He heard the fan chirp at him, so he flipped him off. The same way he drops a slur on a fan who says he needs a tennis racket. It's not, half the times these people, they're jackasses. They say what they want to say, but sometimes it doesn't cross the line. If it crossed the line, whatever. But in the end, half of these Jaron Duran incidents, the fan's not in the wrong. Duran's in the wrong because he's always picking a fight with a fan or picking a fight with the media because he's always trying to fight somebody. Because in the end, he's just fighting himself. That's why he's fighting Milliken or fighting Joe from Revere in row 12, who, by the way, definitely couldn't kick his ass because in the end, he's just a fake tough guy. He's too busy fighting himself, which is why he tries to fight everybody else. And that makes me sad. It does. I want to feel for the guy. I've spent a lot of time feeling for the guy. I have empathy for people who are going through it. It's a hell I would wish on nobody. People who fight themselves, man, it's a tough thing to watch. We've all had people in our lives who you watch them fight their own demons, and it's horrible, and it's heartbreaking. But eventually it crosses a line. Eventually you say, I can't have the sympathy for you that I once did as much as I want to, as much as it breaks my heart to not have sympathy for you. But in the end, you keep making bad decisions. And Jaron Duran keeps making bad decisions. And he keeps trying to victimize other people. In the end, that's just being a bad dude, whether you have demons or not. And you know what? Most bad guys have demons. And Jaron Duran has demons, and I feel badly about that. But he keeps making bad decisions, and he keeps making a complete ass out of himself. And he's making an ass out of the team in the process for trying to build around him, for standing by him. Eventually, you got to stop standing by this guy. Get him out of here. If the Padres really do want to trade Mason Miller and Xander Bogaerts together, send Duran back in that deal. They've been in love with him for a few years. Get it done. But I don't care if you get anything for him. You will be better off without him. It will be addition by subtraction. It is always something with him. It's Milliken, or it's the fan, or it's somebody else, or it's Michael Hawley, or it's some dude in row 15. It does not matter. This is who Jaron Duran always will be. You want to do right by him, by the way? You want to defend Jaron Duran? Because I know there's a part of the fan base that wants to defend him. You want to do right by him? Get him out of here. It'll be good for him, too. Stop enabling him. Send him to a better spot. Send him to a spot where he doesn't have the baggage that he has here. It'll be good for him. It'll be good for everybody else. 617-779-0985. Jeff in the car has been waiting patiently on Duran. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I just want to say that, if you're going to talk about uncorroborated reporting about Duran, Milliken's story of him threatening him is also totally uncorroborated. He just wrote it in the Discord server.
He did not write that in the Discord server. Trust me, I know this story. There were witnesses to it, Jeff. Take my word on that.
Well, he said intentionally in his post that he wanted to aggravate him because he knows he's sensitive about that.
No, Jeff, you don't have reading comprehension. No, you read that again. He said that's what he said. No, Jeff, I'm putting you on hold here for a second. The reason Milliken wrote that, and I've seen people defending Duran over that today, the reason Milliken said he didn't say anything is because he knows Duran is sensitive. That's why he didn't add any captions to it. You got to read that sentence again.
The guy sat on the story for 2 months. He releases it now, and they're on a 9-game winning streak.
Hey, Jeff,
I don't know.
Why are you? Do you think Tyler Milliken's trying to sabatage the Red Sox?
Duran's not a perfect person. No one in this world is.
Why are you defending him? Has he earned that? Has he earned that? Why are you defending Jaron Duran? Has he earned it?
I don't know. He's a good player for us.
No, he's not. He sucks at baseball. What are you talking about? Jaron Duran's batting 200. Oh, God, that's the worst call of the day. Congratulations to you, jackass. Dean and Stoughton, I imagine you'll be better than that.
Oh, yeah, it will be a lot better. I'm with Tyler Milliken. Jaron Duran is a word I can't say on the radio.
He's a fraud.
He needs to smarten up and just be a player. Plain and simple, right?
Yeah, listen, your job as a professional athlete is to cut out the noise. He can't cut out the noise. That's why he has talent, but that's why he hasn't hit in 2 years. He's fighting his own demons, and that's sad, and I get that, but it's not going to work out here. I do not understand the Duran defense at this point. How many times does he need to get into a fight with somebody? And the whole, oh, you're making it up thing? Really, who's making it up here? Which side is making it up? The pro team podcaster and Tyler Milliken or Jaron Duran? Do we have any audio of what what the fan said to him in Minnesota? Do we have that? Has that come out?
We've been looking for a couple months now. We have not been able to find it.
That's right. Yeah, there were 17 people in the stands that night. Who exactly is more believable here? And trust me, there were witnesses to the Milliken Duran interaction at Fenway Park. Whether they choose to come out or not, I don't know, but that was done in public. So, yeah. This story's been known about for quite some time in media circles. Why did it go public now? Because, yeah, he was asked about it and he decided to go public with it. You can question the timing all you want, but if you're out there saying it didn't happen, you're just trying. Yeah, I mean, you're the one making it up in that scenario. I mean, you're grasping at straws. Hey, that was a good way to end the baseball hour tonight. We'll continue. We'll do this all weekend long, I'm sure, because there will be another Jaron Duran story that I'm sure will come out between now and Monday. So Maz will talk about it on Monday. We'll see you then.
Stay tuned for more of the baseball